I got a junior angler. What's your name? Come up here. What's your name? Kyler? Kyler. Turn around and tell them how old you are.
I'm 9.5.
You like fishing? This your first time to one of our meetings? You did? Well, I got a prize for you. I got you a new fishing pole and a reel.
Thank you.
Hey, it's my first meeting too.
Is it your first meeting, really? Okay.
Where's that young man at? You got to earn your rod.
With your dad. Leave that there.
Let me hold that for you. I almost had him.
Our guest speaker, I guess, was paid one of the highest compliments that you could get from Ronnie Capps when he was down here at the extravaganza. He told us that he felt like Wally Marshall, Mr. Crappie, probably was the genesis of all that what's made this crappie industry what it is today. And with that, I think that speaks loud about our guest speaker, Wally Marshall. Please join me in welcoming Wally.
Thank you. Thank you. Are we on? Are we good? All right. Does anybody have like $500,000 laying around I can borrow this year? No, I'll tell you what, guys. Hey, I'm honored. Thank you very much for inviting me. Jimmy, the whole crew, Paul, everybody involved, whoever came up with the wild idea of having me back here. And kind of this evening, I kind of want to tell my story, because I've seen a lot of good ones on the internet. So, you know, hey, I'm still alive. I'm not in jail. I wasn't fired. You know, this whole deal that I just had to lay low for a while. When people want to buy your brand, it's just a process. You know, it's a process. Then you have to draw the line in the sand what you want to do. And if you read a couple of weeks ago, I am now with Lou's. Lou Childress has been a company that's been around since 1949. Lou Childress was a country and western singer, but he loved to fish. And so he talked Shimano into building some reels. Then he got tired of Shimano, then he went to Ryobi. Then he just kind of swapped around a little bit and always had a reel out there. And the gentleman that I know very well, Mr. Lynn Reeves, is the gentleman that brought me to the fishing industry. It actually brought me, not the fishing industry, but to Bass Pro Shops in 1996. I get a phone call from his office saying, Wally, would you like to design crappie rods for Bass Pro Shops? No, I'm not interested. I just went through a deal with another rod company. I'm not going to call the name. But I said, I've been working all day at the school district. You know how it is. And you're sitting there trying to watch the news and people talking to you. And I said, no, I'm not interested right now. And so he said, let my boss call you back. So Lynn Reeves, which is now the owner of Lou's, called me back and he said, what the heck do you mean no? He said, we've seen you at our Bass Pro Shops over the country. We see, you know, your work, how you do, you know, you promote crappie fishing really big. We would like for you to come in and design crappie rods for Bass Pro. So I went up there in the fall of 1996, and in 1997, the Wally Marshall rods came to the market. Only had 3 rods to start with, 8, 10, and 12 footer. There's some guys around today that still remember the time when all that took place. No reels, no anything. And I had like this big a spot in the catalog. I think it was about like that, but 1/8 of a page or something. And so I asked Bass Pro, I said, well, how many rods y'all want to sell a year? And they said, man, if we could sell 4,000 rods in a year, we'd be tickled to death. Well, it exceeded that. And 15 years later, here we are. So Johnny Morris came to me and said, hey, we want to buy your brand. We would like to buy Mr. Crappie. We don't want Wally Marshall. So we just want the Mr. Crappie brand. I said, okay, you know, so I never did price it, and they shot some money at me, and finally I drew the line in the sand and said, hey, I'm going to go sell my products elsewhere. I'm still with Bass Pro Shops. Got a check in the mail today. So folks that thinks that we had a bad relationship, we didn't. Last Sunday I get a call from Johnny Morris. How you doing? I read the article on the Fishing Wire. Congratulations, because Lynn Reeves built the fishing department at Bass Pro Shops for 27 years. So Bass Pro Shops rod and reel department, the way it is today, Lynn Reeves had a lot to do with that over the years. And Johnny, he was real concerned. He said, Wally, I said, well, Johnny, I'll tell you what. I said, I want one thing from you. He said, what's that? And I said, I want my rods back in Bass Pro Shop. He said, we'll do that. So when my rods come to market, we'll be back in. So it's just kind of a crazy world out there, guys. I mean, it's all about business. It's all about business today. So if you're dealing with, you know, whatever, you're coming out with lures, you've got good ideas, whatever, it's all about business. Don't carry the chip on your shoulder, because I'm still with Nitro Tracker on the team there with Bass Pro Shops. Matter of fact, we had a little event last week up in Oklahoma. Fished with a young man that was up for Entertainer of the Year, Mr. Toby Keith. We was at Jimmy Houston's place the other day and had a big event, and Barry Switzer was there. We had a great time. It was cold in the fire, but I did catch a 3-pound crappie in Jimmy's pond, but had to throw it back. But anyway, folks, Lew's, I'm telling you, Lew's is the quality. They have quality reels, they have quality products, and Lynn Reeves knows our industry inside and out, and he knows good products because he can bring it to the market. My rods and reels won't be available and probably till summer or a little bit after. This day and time, it takes about 4 months. Once you say, okay, I like this, it takes about 4 months to get it from the Orient. So it's going to be a few days before we're going to see prototypes and stuff like that, and I may have some folks test some products, like my fishing line. We're changing my fishing line. We're going to get some quality, good Mr. Crappie line going. We've already had meetings with different box stores out there, the Academies, the Cabela's, the Walmarts. They all want Mr. Crappie line. So Mr. Crappie line's not going away. We're going to come with camo. We're going to come with clear and high vis. And we're looking at bringing out a 500-yard spool of line instead of 330 yards for the same money. So we're really working hard on that. I'll tell you what, it's tough to not, I can't go out there tonight and pick you out a rod out of my truck, you know. I mean, you know, that kind of deal. So I'm just sitting here just itching, like, you know what, just wanting to get out there and really pump it. And tonight was to come here and tell you guys what's going on until you hear the real skinny from the horse's mouth of what's been going on. I've really been working hard. I hadn't been doing a lot of fishing. I went to Ray Roberts the other day, put on my waders, got out there and caught some fish, had a great time, because that's how I started many years ago, was in a pair of waders. I didn't even own a boat and won a tournament. So that was in 1986, back in the day. I think today y'all have to fish in a boat, right? God, dog. I would fish y'all's club if we didn't have to fish in a boat. No, just kidding. But caught some good fish up there on Ray Roberts. The lake's pretty clear back there in the back and stuff like that, and the fish were out a little bit deeper, but it was really exciting to drop that old crappie thunder in there and feel that old thump, you know. Also, I signed a deal with Bullet Weight Company this year. With Bullet Weights, we have the new Mr. Crappie trolling rig for you guys that don't want to tie rigs. This is and don't want to lose rigs. You can actually run a bigger main stage up here. You can run 12, 15-pound test. Everything's on a swivel. This arm has a swivel too, but I take the swivel off this top arm, and that makes it a little bit stiffer. But the top arm on this unit spins 360. It goes all the way around, okay? But so when you start trolling, that'll come to the back and you can take off. But everything's on a swivel or a split ring. And this is the Troll Tech system by Bullet Weight Company. They're just now getting into the market and getting out on the shelves, so be looking for that. It comes in a 1/2 ounce 3/4 ounce and 1 ounce for the real windy days. So we're giving you a little deal there.
Well, come here. Join me for a second here, because there's a common denominator that we've heard when we had Ronnie Capps, the 7-time national champion, and Wally Marshall, the genesis of crappie industry, speak to us. Is time on the water, doing your time, is a big thing about learning about crappie. But this club, and if you know what the mission statement says, is that we are an educational, institutional club. And because of people like Wally Marshall willing to come here at no fee and speak to us, the Ronnie Capps, no fee, speaking to us, the founders, Ernest Patey, Guy Skinner, Paulo Beer, J. Don Reeve, I know I'm probably leaving out somebody now, but anyway, Jerry Hancock, those people all willing to give their time and speak to us, we can learn to be much better crappie fishermen. I know it has expedited my learning experience about how to catch crappie, and I would invite those out in video land that no matter where you're at in the United States or anywhere and you want to learn about crappie fishermen, you can join our club and you get full access to these videos that we have for $25. And that's got to be worth it to do that, to have people like Wally Marshall and so forth here. So we appreciate it.
Oh, thank you,
Mr.
brother.
Crappie.
Hey, thank you, brother. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, you got a big one.
Hey, it went into your shirt.
Oh, no.
We'll cut that out.
Get my lawyer.
We'll cut that out in a little bit.
We're going to have to
Get a pull through.
wrap up here and get things put up.
Hey, guys.
Appreciate
thank
it.
you. I was at all. Thank y'all for coming. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.